Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? It is good to see you. Hey, 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 family. Welcome to 11 a.m. Talks with Angel Charmaine. It is good to see you all today. Um, y'all know how this works. If you are catching this on the replay, hashtag replay. Let me know you got an opportunity to watch it. And then you can fast forward through all of the niceties and the introductions and all the things that happen at the beginning of a live broadcast. So if you're catching this on the replay, you can feel free to watch it all the way through and comment and engage as if you were here live, or you can fast forward through again all of the introductory things and get straight to the heart of the conversation. That is totally okay. But you all know I'm going to wait just a few minutes to allow some people the opportunity to get into this space. We're going to be talking today about a special topic. I think this is something that many uh, middle aged, midlife women of a certain age, seasoned women, whatever the term is you want to give to women who are, in that 35 plus generation. We are getting to a place where things are changing for us, right? They are absolutely changing for us. And when we start talking about what is beautiful, and I see a lot of people, we use that word now for so many things, and we use it so loosely now, and it's just like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But I don't think every woman is feeling all that beautiful, especially when we get to a certain set. And I mean outwardly, right? So for the remainder of the week, today, Thursday, and Friday, we're going to be talking about aging and body confidence and aging with confidence, right, in your body. I think a lot of Gen X women are facing perimenopause, menopause, the stigma with aging. I think even on TikTok, I have seen some videos where it's like this older woman versus younger woman thing going on. I'm like, why are we doing that? Like, I don't ever remember growing up feeling like there was any kind of competition between me and my aunties and grandma and women in the neighborhood. I never felt that. Didn't realize that was even a thing. Not sure if it was a thing, but I have noticed in our present time that clearly it's a thing, right? And so I believe a lot of Gen X women, and if you're wondering, like, what is Generation X? Generation X, if you are between the ages of 45 and 60 years old, you are considered Generation X. Okay, between 45 and 60 years old, you're considered Generation X. And millennials are, I forget their beginning age, but I believe millennials are somewhere in that um late 20s, early 30s, up through about 45. So late 20s up through about um 44 or something like that, or early 30s. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna have to look it up. Um, and so, whereas you got these Gen X women who are dealing with perimenopause, they're dealing with menopause, they're dealing with the stigmas on aging as women. You got millennials, right? You got millennial women who are, typically in that 30 age range, early 40 age range, and their bodies are starting to change, right? Post pregnancy, many of them are getting to a place where they're having babies and things like that. And so they've got some post pregnancy body changes due to stress and lifestyle, and something that, women didn't, I don't remember women having conversations about what's going to happen to your body when you hit 30. Because let me tell you, it's almost like it's in increments of 10. That's what it feels like to me. Like when you hit 20, things shifted a bit. 30, between about 32 and 36, like the woman's body does some really odd things. Then you hit 40 and it's a whole other level of things. I haven't hit 50 yet. I'm on my way, but I haven't gotten there yet. And so I'm sure that women who are 50 and 60 are thinking, hey, just wait till you get 50 or wait till you get 60. There's some other things that are going to happen. And so I want to normalize aging. I want to normalize changes in our body, and I want to help to normalize self-acceptance at whatever stage of life you are in. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this week. Hello, Kiki Cherise. How you doing? Greetings, beautiful. With that beautiful music. If you all are not connected to Kiki Cherise, make sure you connect to her. She is a songstress. She's got this beautiful song that's out right now. I think she's going to be dropping an album real soon, but y'all stay connected with Kiki Cherise. I believe she's got some really great things coming down the pike. And if you're connected to me and Speak Up Sis, then, you won't be able to say you didn't know. So y'all connect with Kiki Cherise. Thank you so much for coming into the space this morning. Hello, Armanda. How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming into the space. I hope you all are going to be able to sit and kick it with me for a little bit today. You all already know what we do here. If you're going to sit in the space, if you're going to listen, if you're going to be a part of the conversation, I ask that you will react, hit the like, the heart, the hugs, the angry, the crying, whatever. But send your reactions flowing on the video. That is always helpful. And also make sure that I call it stimulating the chat, which means you are talking to me. You're commenting, you're talking to each other in the chat. Everything doesn't have to be directed at me. You can be replying to someone else, but make sure that you are communicating within the chat as well. Okay. So, and if this is a conversation that you believe is one that needs to be heard by some women in your life, some young women in your life, feel free to tag them in the live, share this live into other spaces. I would greatly appreciate it. Good morning, Deborah. How are you doing, sis? It is good to see you. I all the time want to shout out Deborah Jefferson. She has been connected. We've been connected prior to Speak Up Sis, but since she decided to come on in and become a part of the Speak Up Sis community, she has been like a faithful supporter, not just of Speak Up Sis, but of Angel Charmaine. And so I thank you. I appreciate you. And I pray that you know that I value your support and your love and your sisterhood. So thank you, sis. I appreciate you. Good morning, Latoya, Dr. Mac. How you doing? She and I had a conversation yesterday, and we were talking because let me tell you, if you are ever in a space with Dr. Latoya, she is a big fan of her millennial group of where she'd be like, I'm a millennial. And where did my millennials at? I love it because it's like she has truly embraced her generation. She has truly embraced the significance, the power, the goodness that comes along with millennials. I remember when the millennial generation was like the younger generation, when they were like Gen Z and Gen A, right? I remember those millennials coming up, and I remember the world going, oh, these millennials, what are we gonna do with these millennials? Like the millennials were like a whole nuisance at one point. And what I think is interesting is that now, that particular generation, they're beginning to age as well. And like I said, at the top of the millennial, you got 40, 41, 42-year olds who are considered millennials, right? And so today we're going to talk about the fact that you are still beautiful even as you begin to age. And so for the remainder of this week, I want to talk about aging and body confidence. Aging and body confidence. And men, if there are any men watching, welcome. You know, you are always free to listen in, but I will say that I'm going to really be talking to um I'm really going to be talking to women. I am. I'm really going to be talking to women in this conversation, because it seems like we are the ones who are having some issues here. Okay, that's what's up. Kiki Cherie says, I'm ready for this topic. I'm feeling it. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm not sure of what your age is. I have met you. I'm thinking you're probably either a millennial or you're Gen X. One of the two. You're either in that generation right before me or you're right along with me. I'm not really sure. But one thing I also recognize is that as a musical artist, we've seen it, right? When you're breaking into the entertainment industry, whether music or whether as an actor, anything entertainment, when you come in at an older age, there's a standard, right? That people expect. They expect you to look a certain way. They expect you to move a certain way. If you're looking to get to the pinnacle of your success in the entertainment arena, then I believe that there are pressures that push women to to shift and change and do things that aren't necessarily in their best interest for wellness and self-confidence and things like that. I remember watching a video. I think India Ari was doing a live on her platform, and I listen, there are things that I really like about India Ari. There are some beliefs that she has that I don't necessarily ascribe to, but there are certain things about her that I absolutely adore. I love the fact that she embraces her ethnicity, she embraces her skin tone, she embraces her hair texture, right? She embraces her authentic voice. And she's okay with that. She's got this raspy voice. That's what I love. Like I have a very husky, raspy voice as well. It's like she has made all of that very beautiful. And I absolutely adore that. And so, Kiki, as you begin to flourish in the entertainment industry as a songstress, as a musician, I'm going to be praying, sis, that you embrace aging and body confidence and do it with style and grace and elegance without the need to, turn into something or somebody else, right? So yeah, we're gonna chop this up real good today. Hey, Tamika Burnett, how you doing? You sneaking in? I know you probably in class or something like that. So you go ahead and do what you got to do. Okay, Kiki, you Gen X. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yes, Deborah, she embraces all of her. I absolutely love that about India Ari. So let's go ahead and get into this conversation, y'all. Oh, and before I forget, those of you who are subscribers, if you subscribe to this page first, thank you, thank you, thank you. You all know my subscribers because they got like a little green badge next to their names. Deborah's a subscriber. Tamika's a subscriber. Latoya Dr. Mac, she's a subscriber. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. At the end of this live today, I have a new resource that I'm going to drop into the subscriber only section. And it's a self reflection tool. It's going to allow you to take the fullness of this 11 a.m. talk and apply it to your life so that you can utilize this a little bit more, so you can make it a little bit more personal, and actually begin to use these tips, tools, strategies, and things that we talk about. And sometimes we hear this stuff live and then we move on to the next thing, and it's nothing, right? It's like, oh, I heard that, I'm going on, and you forget it. Well, I've created a self-reflection tool for you all that's going to help you to really dissect what we're talking about and then, make it applicable to yourself. So I will drop that um, in the subscriber only section after the live is over. Okay. All right. Um, in meetings, but wanted to hear what we have. Okay. So Tamika, today we're going to be talking about you are still beautiful even as you get older, even as you age. And for the rest of the week, we're going to be talking about aging and body confidences. That is what we are going to be talking about today. So feel free to come in as you can. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. So the first concept that I want to talk about today, I'm gonna put this up on the screen for y'all. The first thing I want to talk about today is that beauty is not about age or appearance. It is about glory. Let's sit with that, right? Age is not about beauty is not about age or appearance. It is about God's glory. And for those of you who are just coming in, this week we're diving into something that so many of us as women wrestle with, especially as we get into those late 30s and 40s and beyond. And we start asking ourselves, right, what does beauty look like when you're no longer 25? When you're no longer, a hot little 20 something or whatever, what does beauty look like? And we're told that youth is the standard. And we know that to be true. You can say, oh, no, Angel, I don't believe that. Look on any magazine cover other than Speak Up Sis. Just let me say, because Speak Up Sis, we don't play them games at Speak Up Sis. But you look at what's projected at us on magazine covers, on media, on the news, on TV. Everything is about keeping your lips plump and youthful. Everything is about making sure that your cheekbones stay high, and people are pulling up, getting eye stuff done so that you don't have any crow's feet, right? And let's not even talk about the BBLs, because we listen, as soon as things start to drop, society has really told us that, letting things droop is not a good thing to do. It's not attractive. You're not going to meet a man. The man that you have ain't going to be happy with you no more. So what do? We go get a lift up here. We go get some extra down here. We start pulling and tugging and plumping and all the things. Why? Because society tells us that youthfulness is the standard. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. We see it all day on social media, right? Even on magazines, they even airbrush the people to make to sort of praise this smooth, youthful skin, right? And everybody's got a flat belly. And as we are all going through this fitness journey, many of us on this fitness journey, I've met so many women who lose the weight. They end up with some, they got a little extra skin or things on. And the first thing they want is like, oh, I got to go get a tummy tuck. I got to go get all this stuff. And unless it is a health issue to where you got excessive loose skin, my thing is, like, I'm 47. Any person who expects a 47-year-old woman's body to look like it did when she was 20, it is just outrageous. It is outrageous. And then we have these fitness people, because I'm gonna get on them as well. Just let me say that, where fitness is not about wellness, it's not about health, it's not about being strong and all that stuff. But no, now it's like, look at her. She's 75 and she's got abs and she's got this and that. Listen, that is an extreme. That is an extreme. And no, and the average woman is not going to be in the gym every single day, working on her abs, trying to chisel her body. Is that great? It is for her. But why does that have to be the standard of what beauty is, right? And so somewhere along the line, as we age, I don't know about y'all, but I know I began to question, like, am I still beautiful? Like, am I still pretty? And just let me say this. Many of you may notice that when I comment, a lot of times when I comment on your pictures and stuff like that, you all will see me say things like, you look really pretty. And the reason that I'm saying this is because I want to shift the narrative around looks. And so the word beautiful and they're these big, bold, like everybody's beautiful and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But you know what? There's a difference in feeling pretty. Okay. I need some. Can someone type I understand in the chat for me? If you understand what I'm saying, when I say there's a difference when someone says you are so pretty versus someone saying, girl, you're beautiful. To me, beautiful has just become a word that we use, I don't know, to just make people feel good. And I don't believe it is as weighty as it used to be. Right. So I try my best to find words other than beautiful when I am talking about a woman, because there are times when I may see a picture of a woman and she may have some age on her, but I look at it and I just think, gosh, she's so pretty, right? To me, pretty lends itself to femininity. Pretty lends itself to softness. Pretty lends itself to all sorts of, and so there are times when I will look and I go, gosh, she is just so pretty. That doesn't mean she's not beautiful. I want to be very specific and letting her know, like, yeah, I know everybody is saying beauty, but I want you to know, sis, that you are pretty. You're a pretty woman, or sometimes I may look at a woman and go, gosh, she is stunning. Like you got this whole regal, queenly stateliness about you, and it's or I may look at a woman and go, she is breathtaking, like like there's something about you that just makes people stop, right? I think it's important for us to actually pay attention to people. And so I'm not one who just loosely says, oh, you beautiful, you beautiful, you beautiful. Beautiful and gorgeous are the new words, right? And we wonder why women are like, please stop talking about I'm beautiful. Stop, because it's overly used and people are not really sincere. But what I want you to realize is that whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years old or 100 plus, you can still be pretty. You can still feel pretty. You can still be stunning. You can still be breathtaking, right? You can still be regal at any age, at any age. And we need to stop allowing society and the media, family, whomever, to make us feel like somehow because we're older, these words don't apply to us, because they absolutely do. Okay. Hey, Alicia, how you doing, sis? She says, I understand. Kiki says she overstands. I'm feeling you. And what you say, I try to describe what I see and even how I feel when I see or when I'm around that person. Absolutely, yes, Deborah. There's a natural glow, right? So let's get into this first point that I'm making today about beauty. And beauty is not about age, right, or appearance. It is about glory. The world says beauty, the world says that beauty fades, but the Bible says beauty is revealed as we mature. And Proverbs 31 and 30, scripture says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised, right? A woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Let me just say this, and I know everybody doesn't believe what I believe, and that's okay. But on in this space, I share my beliefs and my thoughts, my perceptions in this place to be able to help you, right? Understand that there are times when even with my guy, right? There are times when he'll just be like you're just so pretty, right? And moments when I'm praying, there are times when I'll say, okay, let me pray for you before you do whatever, or you know what, I'm getting ready to pray, or you know what, I'm gonna pray about that. Or I might be, talking to him about something I read in the Bible or sharing scripture or something like that. And I notice that in those moments, I can see in his face where, he is it's almost like he is sort of it's almost adoration, if you will, in that this woman loves God, you know? And there's a beauty there's something very lovely, if you will, about a woman who fears the Lord. As we age, we not even as we age, but even as we're younger, we need to understand that yes, beauty is fleeting. You in terms of outer, and I hate to even say but it is. But scripture says that beauty is fleeting. So that outward, if you will, that outward youthful, what the world calls attractive, right? Your face is going, gravity is going to work. Things are going to droop. Boobs are going to droop. Things are going to do a little saggy. You're going to look different as you get older, but that does not take away your loveliness. There's a glory that sort of overtakes you that is far greater than beauty, if you will. Outward appearance. When I say beauty, I'm talking the outward appearance. So yes, your face will change, sis. Your body will shift, sis. Trust me. But guess what doesn't fade? Your wisdom doesn't fade. Your light doesn't fade. Your joy doesn't fade. Your faith doesn't fade. That lasts. It's important for us to understand that today I want us to normalize aging. Begin to normalize aging. I'm one of those women. I tell people who know me, I say this all the time. I'm looking forward to being a grandmama. I'm looking forward to being an old school grandma. One where the kids come, hey grandma. I don't mind if my grandbabies grow up and call me grand. I don't need no specialized cutesy name. Grandmama, granny, Mima, whatever they decide they want to call me. I don't have to be grandma and all this because guess what? There is something very special about aging. So we need to normalize aging. We need to normalize the changes that happen in our bodies. We need to normalize accepting who we are at the stage of life we're in, right? I'm telling you, if you anything like me, says you might have some stretch marks. You might have some stretch marks now. After four children, I have given birth to four head of youngin, okay? Two at the same time. I have been stretched every which way, honey. You may need readers. Look, these are bifocals, y'all. Y'all see the little line at the bottom? When I wear contacts, I gotta have a pair of readers because my contacts only allow me to see a single vision. These bifocals let me see on the top. I can see far off. On the bottom, I can read. When I wear contacts, I gotta wear readers. It's just real crazy all the stuff that I have to do, right? So you may be like me. You may need readers. You may feel a little more tired. You might go to bed a little earlier than you used to. May take you a little longer to hop up out of the bed in the morning. But all of those things are simply proof that you have lived. And I think that's something that we as seasoned women, more mature women, need to accept. It beyond this idea of, how tight your skin is or how slim your waist is or how many abs you get and all that kind of stuff. Redefining what is beautiful as we age is important. I think instead of it being about beauty, it really is about being confident, being sure. All of the things that I mentioned earlier, they are all proof that you have lived, honey, that you grown. You're not a child. They are all, listen, those stretch marks for many of us, they are proof that you carried some babies in the womb, right? Those scars that y'all are trying to remove, they prove that you have been wounded before, but you're now healed. all of the extra things that we're trying to hide and cover up, you want to make up everything, they are all proof positive that you have endured. And sweetheart, that's beautiful. All of that is beautiful. Gerald, J Will, you gonna listen, you got to sit in the back, son. I know I said all the 35 plus women come to the front. All the men, y'all can listen, but y'all sit in the back. Oh, I'm just messing with you. How you doing, J Will? It's good to see you, brother. Are y'all still rocking with me? Today, I need you to understand that we get to choose how we define beauty. And I need for all of you to understand that living to see 45, 50, 60, 75, 85, 90, living to see it, honey, that's beautiful. Because baby, these young people not getting past their 20s these days. They not making it for whatever reason. You got young people, you got so many young people who are taking their own lives with their own hands for all sorts of many of them don't feel loved. Many of them don't feel they don't feel beautiful. They don't feel pretty. They don't feel none of that. Many of them don't feel welcome, right? Many of them don't feel loved. Honey, to get to this ripe old age, it's a beautiful thing. It says that you have persevered. It says that you have endured. It says that you have been able to get through some things. If that ain't beautiful, I don't know what it is. Latoya, I should have known. You know what? Let me tell you, if you go back, Latoya, and you look at my post before I did the live, I put in parentheses, right? Or I put in brackets. P.S. All my 44 and 34 and under sisters, you are welcome because God willing, you're going to be 35 plus one day. So you absolutely can stay. And Latoya, I want you to stay up front. And the reason I want you to stay up front is because today I am working to help women who are my age, right? And older, my generation and older, to embrace who they embrace. Listen, the fact that you're going to put on a little extra weight, the fact that things are going to look different is okay. I mean, so many 40 plus year old women who are struggling with weight and it's not even so much that it's a health issue. For some it is, but most it is really about I don't like the way that I look. I've been there. I've been there. I wish when I was younger I had sat in on some conversations of older women, and I would have sat in them if there would have been lots of them, but there just weren't. I wish I would have heard older women sitting around, with different sizes, different body shapes, or whatever, embracing and talking about the things, the changes that are just going to happen. They're just going to happen because you're aging. Like you can try to stop the process all you want, but there are just certain things are going to happen. And so I welcome younger women to sit in on these kind of conversations because the truth is, God willing, you ain't going to be 33 forever. You're going to get to 34, you're going to get to 35, you're going to get to 40, you're going to get to 45, you're going to get to 50. God willing, you're going to get there. And when you get there, at least you will know what to expect. You will know what to expect. And Tamika, that's a beautiful thing. Tamika says, I love all of me. And I can honestly say that I could not always say that. I can say that now, but I could not always say that. I absolutely could not always say that. I sure couldn't. And I can be honest and say that I've shared with you all before where I worked with a coach, and the coach gave me an assignment to look in the mirror like before I got in the shower where I'm, unclothed, and to look at myself and tell myself I love you about what I saw in the mirror, and to do that for 60 seconds each night, and do that for 60 seconds each night for like 30 days or something like that. And the first time I tried it, y'all, I didn't make it to 60 seconds. I probably got to about 20 or 30 seconds. And the next thing you know, I was in tears. I was in tears because I couldn't lie to myself. Some of y'all lie to yourselves, not me. I'm not one of those people. And the truth is that I looked at myself in the mirror, and I could not find 60 seconds worth of I love yous to myself, fully unclothed, right? Just me, nobody else around. I couldn't do it. So I think it's a wonderful thing that you love all of you, and I do now. But I can honestly say that probably around 39, 40, I couldn't honestly say that. I was saying it, just let me say, I was saying it because a lot of times we come out here and be like, oh, I love myself, I love me some me, I love me some me, and this and that and the other, and it don't necessarily be the truth. Whenever I meet women who are like, oh, I love me and this and that and other, but when I look at them, I'm like, but can we see you? Because if you love you, we don't, what's on your head ain't you, what's on your face ain't you, all the extra stuff you doing ain't you. Like, I love me, boo. Well, we do, who are you? Like, because everything on you is extra, extra. I know y'all gonna want to come for me. Come for me. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, at the very, very end of the day, there are so many women. And I'm not saying all, but there are many. There's so many of us who are not happy with who we are, with what we see, with how we're aging, until we're doing all these things to take us back to this youthful place. And today, I just want to say you don't have to do that. I want us to get to a place where we will accept who we are, where we are in our lives, so that we can get to this place of being like Tamika, where you can say, I truly love me and all the parts of me, right? In the chat, I would like for you to answer this question. What's one physical change that you've had to learn to accept about yourself? Right? This is a time I want us to learn how to uplift each other, encourage one another. Let's do that in the comments right now. I want you to put in the comments one physical change, physical, not spiritual, not mental. Because see, that's how we pretend that we're okay with our physical selves. We start talking about all these other things. But I want us to stay with the physical right now for just a moment, right? What is one physical change that has happened in your body or with your body that you have had to learn to accept about yourself? Okay, Alicia says loss of too much weight. And I noticed, Alicia, even in your statement, you use TOO, right? Like it's like excessive. So a loss of a whole, like more weight than you wanted to lose, right? And it's something because I've known you so long. I've seen you fuller and I've seen you leaner. And the truth is that you look amazing in all those different phases, all of them. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter what I say, right? It doesn't matter what anybody else says. It really doesn't. It what matters is what you feel, what you think when you look in the mirror. So Alicia, I want to ask, have you come to terms with the weight loss? Have you come to terms with it? And if so, like how were you able to do that? And if you haven't, you can say I haven't come to terms yet. But if you have, like if you've come to terms with that, let us know in the chat if you have come to terms with it and how you were able to do that. Tamika says, exactly. It took me a moment because of what society taught me, but finally broke away and took a good look at myself and started giving daily self affirmations. That's another good one. Being able to encourage and uplift and edify yourself every day. To wake up every day, right? Girl, you got it going on today, honey. Girl, you pretty. You looking good today. Girl, your hair is doing the right stuff today. You know, whatever it is that you need to say to yourself to encourage your own soul, right? Affirmations are really, really good. And I believe in affirming what God has already said about you. I can tell y'all, when I wake up in the morning, I sometimes I feel the most pretty first thing in the morning. As soon as I awaken, I go in the restroom, use the bathroom, I'm getting ready to brush my teeth. I'll look in the mirror, and sometimes like my locks are a little disheveled. They ain't all neat and put together. My skin, I don't know, that early morning skin is really bright. I don't know what that is about, but in the first thing in the morning, my skin, you can't see any blemishes or anything. That early morning skin, I don't know. um and you just look so fresh and revived. So when I awaken in the morning, I go to the restroom and I look in the mirror, and sometimes I really do stop and I look at myself and I be like, are you pretty? But I haven't always been able to do that. But affirming those things about myself, you're right, definitely ways to help you get to that point. Hello, Paisley Harris. How you doing, beautiful? Thank you so much for coming into the space. Weight gain. Been there, done that too. I am 5'4", and at my heaviest, I was 236 pounds. And that's a lot of weight on a small frame, right? I have definitely been to that place before. And for me, if I can just be really frank, for me, um, I realized that my outer body was a reflection of what was going on the inside of me in my head and my heart. And when I was able to correct some limiting beliefs, some faulty beliefs, when I was able to really do the hard work of heart work, then the weight actually, um I was able to shed the pounds that I didn't want. And for me, again, at 47, I had high blood pressure, other things. So my thing is I want to live. And so at this point, I have lost a good bit of weight and I'm really comfortable in my body right now. I really am. I'm not really thin. I'm not really thin. I mean, I'm not the size I was 10 years ago or something like that. But I've gotten to a place in my life where I'm really comfortable in my head, in my heart, and in my body. Right. And even though I'm sure there are people who say you probably need to lose some, if I go to the doctor, they're probably going to tell me I'm obese. You know what I'm saying? My weight, according to their charts and standards, I'm still heavier than doctors would want me to be. But you know what? I don't feel like I'm unattractive. I don't feel like I'm unbeautiful, right? I don't feel that way. I absolutely don't. But that took me taking care of some limiting beliefs and some heart issues so that I could do what I needed to do to get to a place where I felt comfortable and confident in my body, in the place it is in at the moment. Right. Kiki says I'm not as flexible and deal with physical pain. And is that something that you're kind of working on? something that you are kind of coming to grips with for yourself? Have you come to terms with that? Have you settled, like, listen, this is where I am right now. I'm working on it. I'm working through it, but it doesn't make me any less than, right? Doesn't make me any less attractive, less beautiful, less pretty. It doesn't make me any less, right? Are you in that place right now? Latoya says, my eyesight, Lord, I can't wear contacts 24/7 anymore. Girl, them contacts feel like specks of dirt sometimes. I can probably I can probably do contacts for 4 or 5 hours or something, and then that's got to go, right? So I totally understand. Look at you. Look at you being a whole millennial. You being a whole millennial, having to come to grips with the fact that eyesight changes, right? That's what's up. Tamika says, I've had to accept that my smile will not be the perfect version I think they should be. Here again, you know what? Let me tell you one of my favorite songs. I won't say it's one of my favorite songs, but it's a song that I really liked when it was out. And every time I hear it, I still love to hear it. I believe it was J. Cole's Crooked Smile. I love that. And so I have a big smile, but my smile is not symmetrical, right? Like you see, like my mouth kind of does that. I have a huge smile as I got older. Which side is on? Right here. Look at that. My third molar. I tried everything to keep it. I got a crown. The crown broke. I had the tooth rebuilt, put a new crown on. The whole thing came out after years. And I had to realize that, you know what? It's gone. And so for a while, I wouldn't smile really big because I noticed in the pictures you would see like a little dark spot. It was really small. Most people probably never paid attention to it, but I saw it in the picture. So I kind of did. I would start smiling like this instead of like this because I didn't want people to see that I had a missing tooth right there. So trust, I understand getting to a place where you just have to embrace. Like listen, I feel like I still have a really big, bright, warm smile, even though I'm missing my third molar. You know, I had to come to grips with that. Like there are 47-year-old women who missing a whole lot more teeth. There are people who are missing teeth in the front. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that it could be, but it's not. Right. So I'm glad that you have accepted your smile. You have such a beautiful smile. We talked about this. Tamika Burnett is the Women in Business Spotlight for Speak Up Sis magazine for our latest edition. And I made sure that I chose a picture of her where she was smiling because she don't smile all the time. It's hard to catch her with a smile in pictures. And so I was like, for this picture, I'm going to make sure because she has such a big, pretty smile. So I'm glad that you have gotten to a place where you're accepting the smile. And my prayer is that you're going to show us that smile more often. Deborah says the gray hair coming on my edges. Woo, child. You know, you see him peeking out right there? Listen, it's going to happen for many of us. Paisley is one of my, okay, hey. Paisley is a millennial. Hey, my millennial sister. Paisley. Alicia says, I have come to terms with that. I just felt like I was looking sick, but to tell you the truth, I had to get closer to God. And I actually joined a kidney failure support group, knowing the other people were going through this as well. Look at God. Girl, you look good. Okay. But I can understand. I can understand your body changing so drastically and then having to deal with that because you have always embraced, and that's another thing. Alicia has always embraced her body, and I call it a womanly figure. Alicia has always been really voluptuous, if you will, with that kind of Coke bottle. She got the top, the small waist, got the hips, right? And so to deal with your body changing so drastically from what you're accustomed to. I can totally understand it. But just let me say, sis, because you know, I don't make up stories. I don't lie to you to make it sound fly for you. If listen, I tell you straight up, you look stunning. I love looking at your pictures. You stay fly, and you just look good. You look good. You look good and healthy to me. So yeah, if you don't know Marita Lynn, I'm gonna connect you and Marita Lynn. She's living through the same situation. She was one of our Speak Up Sis finalists from last year. I did not even know that she was dealing with kidney failure. She actually got it from COVID. She got COVID and it left her like in renal failure, and so anyway, I think the two of you, she's in North Carolina, but I think the two of you should meet. She real jazzy, just like you. She real jazzy, just like you. So anyway, I'm gonna do a warm meeting right there. Jaletta says you appreciate your natural beauty in the morning. I absolutely do. I do. Jaletta says, I've lost 5 pounds. I'm motivated to look healthy, fine in my gown at the gala. Let me tell you something. You're going to look fine. Whatever body you bring to the gala is going to be a fine body. The last 2 years, listen, I was a little extra fluffy the first year. I was a little fluffy last year. And I feel like I looked absolutely gorgeous both years. Even though I had a little extra weight, you're going to look stunning, whatever body you bring. Um, let's see here. Okay, you remember her, Alicia? Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Tamika says the gray, she's proud of her gray. She feels like she earned it. And have you listen, every strand, sis, every strand. Every strand. Yes, Tamika, it is all about how you present yourself. Absolutely. So thank y'all so much for sharing, being so willing to share in the comments. The reason I asked you all to share at least one physical change that you're learning or have learned to accept is so that hold on a second, y'all. Hey, friend, I'm doing my 11 a.m. live. You good? I'm gonna call you right back. Everything all right? Okay. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. Y'all excuse me. That's one of my good friends, and she don't get the call often, so I gotta let me put my phone on do not disturb. I thought I had it on do not disturb. Listen. Some of y'all called doing the live. I gotta answer. I make sure y'all okay. I keep trying to tell you when I make those posts about real sisterhood, real friendship, women who live what they teaching and preaching. It's not a toot your own horn situation. I just know myself. I accept that and I own that. I'm not the fanciest. I ain't the flyest. I ain't got the biggest house or car and bank account. But what I do have is the favor of the Lord and the glory of the Lord. And I'm a woman after God's own heart. And so, listen, if I call you friend, stick closer than a brother, stick closer than a sister. You understand what I'm saying? I will get in the car and come see about you. I will get in my truck and come see about you. I'm just saying. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on. Like I said, the reason I asked you all to share at least one physical change is because I want you all to see that you're not alone. You are absolutely not alone. Oftentimes, we feel like it's just like don't nobody won't nobody really understand. I know other people do, but not like mine. And let me tell you, the enemy is always trying to trick us. He is always trying to trick us. I need you to know that beauty is not about your age, it's not about your appearance. It is all about God's glory. It is about how you accept who he says you are. It's all about showing up in the exact place you are today, and being grateful that you get to show up today. Like Tamika said, it's all in how you present it. It's all in how you show up. I don't care if you are 100 pounds, you got 100 pounds more than you want to have, or 100 pounds less, whether you got a head full of gray hair, or you got little gray whiskers, whether you growing facial hair in your face, or whether all your hair done fell out on your head. I promise you, none of that has anything to do with the glory of God that is on the life of a woman who fears the Lord. And when you choose to accept that, and when you choose to walk in that, you will wake up in the morning, and that is what you will see. You will see, I am living, I am alive, I am thriving, I'm full grown, I'm not a child no more. You understand? I have birthed some things in the natural and in the spirit. I'm healed, I've endured, I persevere. Baby, all of that is beautiful. It's all in what you choose to accept in your heart and your soul, and what you should know to be true, right? All right, so let's move on to the next thing. The next thing that I want to share with you all today is the pressure to stay young. It's a trap. It's a trap. I need y'all to understand that. Many women will chase youthfulness, right? We chase youth because what we think it equals value. And people like Kevin Samuels, Lord rest the man's soul. Wherever he at, rest his soul. But that man would tie your youthfulness, you not having any kids, you still having this little girl body, right? You still having these little girl features. He would tie youthfulness and the things that come along with a young woman who hasn't, she hasn't had a lot of life yet. He would tie that to value and say this is a high value woman, or this is a low value woman, right? So what does that do? That makes us stay in the salon. We always got to get our hair done. We got to make the hair got to look a certain way. What's getting me is all these 40-plus-year-old women with these little baby edges. Stop it. There's no reason 40, 50, 60-year-old women walking around talking about baby hair. You're not a baby. You're not a baby. Why is you doing baby hair? You're not a baby. Unless your hair is naturally curly and your edges just curl up just because they do. Why are you trying to make baby hair when you're a whole grown woman? Why? Because somehow somebody done determined that baby hair is what is attractive and what makes you, pretty, and we have attached this value to these youthful characteristics as if aging doesn't have value. Now, mind you, listen, please don't get your panties in a bunch. Some of y'all, as soon as I say something, some people gonna be like, well, I do baby. Listen, this is what we say. Well, I do baby edges because I think it's pretty. Okay, if you think it's pretty. I don't care. All I want you all to understand is that it is psychological and it is planned. This is simply the enemy creating images in media. You wouldn't have been doing no baby hair at 30, 40, 50 years old had you not seen it in these videos on social media. Had you not been watching celebrities, had you not been watching these little girls do these little hair things and she's swooping and all this other kind of stuff. Girl, I was doing baby hairs in high school because I was a child. We all had that black gel. And look, I still got little fine edges. I've always had curly hair, but I would get that little black gel, that hard stuff, and I would do the little thing right there. You pull it. But I was a child. I was 14, 15 years old. I'm 47. We are not babies anymore. Even the word tells us as babes, We drink milk like babes. We do things that children do, that babies do. But when you grow up, we eat meat. When you grow up, listen, you should look different. This whole idea of, and I see the videos, the mamas like, oh, this is my twin. Okay, your child could look like you. That's cool. They're like, I look like my mama. If you ever see my mama, the older I get, the more, ooh, y'all. See, this is Asian. Yesterday, y'all, I hurt myself. Y'all probably can see it. See this knot right here? See this? I got a knot right there. Exercising. Exercising. I did try to do this little exercise and I done hurt my shoulder, y'all. So my range of motion is a little, I was in a lot of pain yesterday, not as much pain today, but I just moved just now and I felt it. It was like, I'm gonna need you to stop it. That's that age. That's what that age will do to you. But it's okay. It's okay. We live and we learn, and then we stop trying to move like them little kids. Listen, there is nothing wrong with you looking older than your daughter. Do y'all have facial, do y'all look alike? Yeah, okay. Like I said, I look like my mama. I do. The older I get, the more and more I look like Georgianne. You feel what I'm saying? But if I'm 47 and my child is 17, we shouldn't look exactly the same. We shouldn't. We should not. Because I've got 30 years on her. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for whatever reason, we're living in a world where we've got older women who have bought into the fact that youthfulness is more valuable than aging. And I promise you, it's not. They each have their own value. They each have their own value. One is not greater than the other, one is not less than the other. They are uniquely different. And I really wish that women, as we age, would begin to embrace that wisdom, embrace the lessons, the learned life lessons, like embrace the fact that you ain't what the old folks say, young DUMB. I'm not gonna say it because the social media don't want me to say it, but young DUMB and filled with y'all know what. Y'all know what they used to say. I'm grateful. That ain't me no more. I'm grateful that I done learned. No 57-year-old woman should be aspiring to look like a 17-year-old. Why? Why? You got 40 years on that child. You got 40 years on that child. You understand? I know. This the toe crunching part. I know. I know. Because so many women are chasing youth because you think that youth equals value. So you stand in the salon getting these baby hairs done. You stay on a diet, like you can't eat nothing regular. Nothing. And I'm not talking about having lifestyle changes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not. But when you get to the place where you've gotten to so you cannot even go to a festive occasion and enjoy yourself at the place. Why? Cause you watching your diet. Listen, I am changing my lifestyle in terms of what I eat. But baby, let me tell you, if you invite me to the wedding, I want a piece of the wedding cake. If you invite me to the baby shower, I'm eating me a cupcake. You understand what I'm saying? You invite me to the networking event, boo, I'm gonna eat me a cookie. I absolutely am. I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. I'm not gonna feel no kind of way about it. You know what I'm gonna do? When I get back home, I'm gonna get right back up on the horse and get back to doing what I was doing. But what I'm not going to allow the world or anybody else is to make me not enjoy the life that God has given me. Understand? I'm not going to do it. There's even scripture in the word. I love this passage of scriptures. I'm going to find it for y'all and put it in here. But Paul is even saying, like, listen, Some of y'all are arguing about should we eat meat, and some of y'all are arguing that we should only be eating vegetables. You know what Paul says? Listen, meat eaters, if you got enough faith to eat this meat or whatever, then let them people eat them vegetables if that's what they want. He equates being a stronger faith with people who eat meat. Now, this is not about being vegetarian or carnivorous. It's not what it's about. What I'm trying to say to you is it is about living your life fully, embracing the fact that you are alive at this age, embracing the fact that you are able to do these things, live fully, enjoy it. The Lord wants you to prosper in your life just as your soul prospers, and that's a blessing. But no, some of us are so trying to look like we did when we were 21 that we stay on these diets and can't even enjoy life. You don't even wear clothes no more. All your clothes is gym clothes. Cause you in the gym all the time. You can't even enjoy your regular life. Why? Because you're trying to get back to what you look like at 23. All these surgeries, right? Everybody changing their butts, changing their lips, changing. They even got eye surgery, y'all. They even got surgery where you could change. Like, oh my goodness, it's so many surgeries. Then they got lip gloss that make your lip look like you got fillers or something. Come on. Why are you doing this? Why? Because we're trying to fix what age has done. Today, I want to encourage you to not try to fix what age has done. It is a part of the life process and cycle, and the fullness of the life cycle is beautiful at every stage. It is uniquely different and uniquely beautiful. The pressure to stay young, it is an entire trap. I need you to realize that. But God never told you to shrink. He never told you to erase. He never told you to hide your age. He absolutely did not. What the word tells us is to walk boldly in who he made you to be. And at this stage in your life, this is who you were created to be. This is what you were supposed to look like at this age. These are the things that you should be doing at this age. I say all the time to women, there are lots of women will say they want to, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman, and that's wonderful. I don't have no problems with you being a Proverbs 31 woman. I bless the Lord that I'm a Proverbs 31 woman as well. But you know what? I believe the Proverbs 31 woman is also a Titus 2 woman. She's also a Titus 2 woman. And the Titus 2 woman is the elder woman who teaches younger women how to be good mothers, how to be good wives, how to be good daughters, sisters, good women. So what's the word I'm looking for? I encourage you as seasoned women to embrace the beauty of aging and all of its glory, and not just work to be this Proverbs 31 woman, but also be the Titus 2 woman who embraces wisdom and then shares that wisdom with younger women so that they too will enter their older years with grace, right? Psalm 139 and 14 is a scripture that we love. We absolutely love to recite, right? And it is the one that says that I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, right? But we need to understand that scripture isn't just for when you're young and sprightly and spunky, right? He made you your now. Like God made your now body. The same way he made your baby body and your toddler body and your early pubescent body and your pubescent body and your young adult body. Guess what? He made your now body. He made your grown woman curves, You understand? He made your laugh lines. He made your crow's feet. He made your soft, squishy belly, right? He made your crooked smile that tells stories, right? The truth is that you are God's workmanship in every phase of your life. Every phase of your life. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Today, I want to encourage you. Today, I absolutely want to encourage you. Please know that the pressure to stay young is a trap. I need you all to put in the comments, drop really quickly, wonderfully made, right? We all need to be embracing this and learning to love ourselves as we are now. Not always thinking about who we used to be. And ooh, girl, what's that? I was prom queen. Yeah, okay. All right. And that was great for that season. I want us to begin to embrace new glories. Many of us are living in old glories. We're living in past glories, right? We're living in, oh, you was the prom queen when you was 17, right? And then you was the Miss America, whatever, when you turned 21. And every time you talk to somebody, you sharing, I call them old glories. But I know that we get up every day and the Lord has new mercy for us every day. Get you some new glories. Get you some new things to bless the Lord about that don't have anything to do with your youthfulness. I'm not saying that you can't reminisce, but many of us are think about men. Now I'm gonna bring men in here for a minute. I'm gonna bring the man in because men do this all the time. They get stuck on the fact that they was the high school basketball championship team. Baby, you 60. You won that championship when you was 17. You still telling that story. We get it. Good job. That story now needs to be reserved for your son to encourage him that he can do it because you did it. But every time you get in the space with all these grown folks, all these grown folks who done live full lives, who we 30, 40, 50, 60 years away from 17, and you still talking about your 17. Listen, get you some new glory. Listen. Okay. Wonderfully made. I see Deborah. Deborah's in the chat. She got wonderfully made. Listen, there are more of you who are watching. I see you. I see my little bubble. Wonderfully made. Put it in the chat. I need to see it. I need to see it. Drop wonderfully made in the chat. Let me know that you are learning to love yourself as you are now. Now. The third point that I want to make today before we get out of here is that confidence grows with identity and not image. Your confidence grows with identity and not your image. You do not need validation from mirrors or from men. Ladies, my sisters. You do not need validation from mirrors or from men. You have got to shift your mindset. You need revelation, understanding, wisdom from God. You do not need the validation of what the mirror says. Oh goodness, I got pimples here, I got pimples there, I got scars over here. I got one hangy boob, one sit-up boob, I got stretch mark. Like your confidence doesn't grow from what you see in the mirror or from what people say, but from the revelation of God about who you are. Right? When you decide that you're going to exchange what people, right, and what society, when you choose to exchange society's ashes for God's beauty, then you start showing up with confidence that no filter can give you. You can exchange the hardness of life. You can exchange all the things that help to, some of us are aging quicker than others because of the ashes of life in this world. But you can absolutely exchange those ashes for God's beauty and what he has said about you, who he has created you to be. You ain't got to listen. Oh my goodness. Some of you, I have no clue as to what you really look like because you got a gazillion like I like filters too. I think they cute. Every now and then, some of the filters, they look like you went and got your makeup done. Okay, I get it every now and then. But some of you, every single picture. And let me tell you the strong delusion that so many of us as women are under. Folks will come up under those filtered photos and be like, girl, you so pretty, girl, you look so good, girl, you beautiful. And I'm just thinking, we know that's a filter. You don't look like that. I've seen some people in real life that I did not recognize because all their pictures is filtered. So when I see them in real life, I'm like, that's one of these things is not like the other. Stop trying to escape who you are today. Embrace it. Embrace it. I see you too, Latoya. Latoya dropped her wonderfully made in the chat. Confidence grows with identity and not image. The world is always going to be looking at the outside, y'all. The world is always going to be looking at the outside. But you need to understand that you shine from the inside out. Right? Your light is not an outward thing. Your light comes from the inside. When you look at people and they look like they're just like, gosh, it's just glowing and it's just something about them. Oftentimes that is an inner glow that you are that is showing on the outside. Please understand, I am not telling anybody to not take care of yourself. Should you take a bath every day? Absolutely. Should you put some lotion on your skin, some body butter? Should you nourish and moisturize? Absolutely. Should you comb your hair? And yeah. Put on clean clothes? Absolutely. I am in no way saying that you should not take care of yourself. What I am saying to you is that the outward appearance is going to change as you age, as you mature. And it's important for you to know that the same God that was God when you were a baby and a teenager and a young adult, it's the same God that is there while you are a woman of a certain age. And you were fearfully and wonderfully made at each stage of your life process and life cycle. So embrace all the things that make you this amazingly beautiful, stunning, breathtaking, pretty, wise woman at the age you are today and beyond. Hey Kim, how you doing? You met us at the end, sis. I am wrapping it up right now, but I'm glad to see you. Thank you for popping in. Kiki said, I feel the same with the filters. Like, ooh, if y'all don't want to see what I look like regularly, don't look. I'm not about to put all them filters on. You gonna get just what I look like today, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this conversation today. Y'all have been lovely. I appreciate you. And I just want to say, sis, you are still pretty. You are still beautiful. You are still lovely. You are still stunning. You are still gorgeous. And not because of what you look like, but because of whose you are. That's what makes you beautiful. Not what you look like on the outside, but because of whose you are. You have earned every single scar. Listen, you have earned every single wrinkle. You have earned every single gray hair. We have got to stop looking at them as flaws, right? They are not flaws. They are features. They are features of your growth. They are features that demonstrate your growth as a woman. And today, I want you at some point in this day, I want you to stand in the mirror and I want you to declare, I am fearfully and wonderfully made right now. See, that's the kicker. I am fearfully and wonderfully made right now, today. Not when I lose 5 pounds, lose 20 pounds. Ooh, girl, I'm gonna be looking so good when I lose 20 pounds. Baby, you look good today. You are a child of Elohim. You are fearfully and wonderfully made today, right? So at some point today, at some point in your day today, I need you to get in the mirror and I need you to declare to yourself, I am fearfully and wonderfully made right now. And I want you to say this to yourself every day. When you wake up in the morning, you go in the bathroom, you look in the mirror, you need to say, like, I am fearfully and wonderfully made right now. Right now. Before I put on a stitch of makeup, before I put on some lip gloss. Understand? So tomorrow, y'all, I need y'all to meet me right back here at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why? Because we're going to talk about the difference between confidence and comparison. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. The difference between confidence and comparison. And we're going to work through that tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you who want a little bit of homework, if you want just a little bit of homework, I'm going to give you a prompt and somebody can type it in the chat for me. That would be great. If you are a journaler, this is a prompt that you can use in your journal. If you don't journal, you probably should begin to journal. But your journal prompt is, what makes me beautiful beyond the mirror? What makes me beautiful beyond the mirror? That is your journal prompt. Okay. Everybody good? Yes, Rachel. Absolutely. Features of your growth. Absolutely. They are not flaws. They are features of your growth. Kim, you just waking up, sis? It's almost 12:30. Okay. So is anybody going to use that journal prompt? Okay, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate you. Deborah typed it in. She says the homework journal prompt. What makes me beautiful beyond the mirror? What makes me beautiful beyond the mirror? And with that, everybody, y'all know I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Have a beautiful day. I love y'all with the love of Christ, and there's absolutely nothing y'all can do about it. And don't forget, if you are one of my Facebook subscribers, I'm going to drop this resource in the chat for y'all. It's a self-reflection sheet that's going to help you to really take what we talked about today and make it apply to your own life so that you get a fuller, more robust benefits from the conversation. Okay, so take care and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.